All right, my friends, so if we've learned anything about this election is you need to move to a no tax state, no income tax state, that is. I was downplaying that a little bit before because the property taxes in a place like Texas and New Hampshire can be through the roof. But then seeing what happened in Arizona today or yesterday is painful. Arizona just raised taxes significantly. Only on the rich, Josh. Us middle class people won't get affected. Yeah, only fools say that. Trust me on that, man. It's not indexed for inflation either, fools. You think you think it stops there? You're freaking nuts. Anyway, so what happens is the minute they get their freaking claws on your wallet for taxes, by going from a no tax state to a low tax state, it never stays there. Think about it. How much easier is it to go from 1 to 1.25, and then 1.25 to 1.5, and so on, then to go from 0 to 1? It's so much easier, my friends. So much easier to go from 1 to freaking 2 than from 0 to 1. If there's no tax, you have to then say, we are taking money from you. You before had no money taken, now we're taking it from you. Whereas before, we were only taking 1%, we'll just say on $100,000, that's $1,000. Now we're taking 1,250. Think about it. What is easier to do? It doesn't take a rocket science. You're already accustomed to have money taken from your paycheck. And the vast majority of us don't pay any attention to it either. How do I know? Because they said they didn't get any tax money reduction when it came to Trump tax bill, which they freaking did. It's the only reason they said it is because they looked at their refund. They said, my refund wasn't as high as it used to be. I mean, sometimes you're sitting there thinking we're dealing with freaking idiots, which is exactly the intention. Have people ignorant, you can lead them. Oh my goodness, it drives up the wall. I didn't get any money back. Well, I got less money back than I did last year. Trump raised my taxes. Oh my goodness, you fool. It just drives me crazy. And Trump should have been ahead of that, actually. This is one of the things that Democrats are good at. FDR, having money automatically taken out of your paychecks, so you don't even see it, as opposed to actually having to stroke a check at the end of the year. It's freaking magical. Obama, when it came to the Medicaid stuff, saying to Republican governors, idiots like John Kasich, it won't cost you anything. It's free to expand Medicaid. Yeah, then John Kasich's out of office, and all of a sudden, the freaking wet bag is left with Mike DeWine and stuff, where you have huge cost of Medicaid because the federal government was paying 100% for the first couple of years, then all of a sudden out of nowhere they're paying 50 and then 25%, and you're left holding that wet bag. What else did Obama do? I mean, very smart, actually. The guy's a freaking genius politically. I don't like his politics, but a genius politically. He also had the Obamacare stuff. The big hit wasn't going to come in until after he was out of office. It was after he won re-election, that's what it was. The big hits weren't going to come in terms of premiums and all that stuff. That's how you do it. So Trump said, hey, we're going to lower your taxes. Lo and behold, they weren't expecting, though, that people would be idiots, and idiotic enough to think that they actually pay more in tax because they got less of a refund. Because it's ignorance of people, man. Ignorance. They just don't know. They're so used to seeing what they get back as of a tax cut. And they're so used to not seeing any money coming out of their paycheck because they don't look at their freaking W-2 and they don't look at their pay stub. So how much harder would it be to say to somebody in Washington State, pretty left-wing state, hey, you don't pay tax now, but you're only going to pay 1% in the future. So $100,000, you go from 0 to 1. That's $1,000. Divide that up between 12 months, was that $66 a month, right? Something like that. That's hard. But to go from $66 a month to $75 a month, that's a big fat nothing burger. You got to get out of a tax state. Go to a no income tax state. That's the first step you got to do to maintain some semblance of liberty. I tell you, I'm going to do that. I'll easily convince my wife that has to be done because now look, they'll raise sales taxes. You can get around sales taxes quite easily. You just don't buy the good. But I need some goods. Well, sales tax or consumption tax, I got no qualm with that. I got no qualm with sales tax. You don't have to buy the good. You don't pay the tax. That's simple. You buy the good, pay the tax. Done. Or you could just grow your own food, for instance. A lot of places don't have sales taxes on food anyway. So sales tax are easy to manipulate, to get around. But again, you're going to have to pay some tax. You pay the tax. What's that noise? If you got to pay sales tax on a vehicle, for instance, that sucks. But how many times you can buy a vehicle? You amortize that over 5 years, whatever. It's not quite as bad, but still, the benefit of living in no income tax place is that they can't get you all that easily in terms of stealing money from it from an income tax perspective. Secondly, property tax are a big deal. Homeowners are very, very knowledgeable of property tax. They're not knowledgeable of income tax, but they're certainly knowledgeable of property tax. So to have property taxes go up, that's where pitchforks come out, and you go in front of the county commissioner and you protest it. Had a client yesterday who hired an attorney to protest from Pennsylvania to protest his increase in property tax. Not only do they, I think what he said is, not only do they not give him the increase in property tax, they actually reduce his assessment, so now he's paying less. So they were going to increase it to like 48, I think he said from 4,800 to 6,000, and then, or no, from, I can't remember what it was, but they were going to increase it. Not only did they not increase it, they actually reduce it. So his lawyer, let's just say it cost $1,000, saved him, basically $1,500 a year in income and property tax. That sucks, but there you go. That's what happens, man. With property taxes, homeowners get pissed off when it comes to property tax. Not easy to massively raise property tax. Now, with that said, my sister lives in a town in New Jersey where they raise property taxes by double. We'll see how long that sticks. If those legislatures were up for, vote here, I don't know. But we'll see how that sticks. Now, her property tax, her town in New Jersey was significantly lower than the surrounding communities. So, and I'm sure they'll say, we got to keep the schools because everything's for the schools, right? Because the teachers union is so damn strong. You got to break the teachers unions, man. Break them up. Break up the monopolies. The teachers unions needs to be broken up. But anyway, so the property tax, people follow their property tax a whole lot more so than they follow income tax. Sales tax is just, it's a consumption tax. I don't have any qualm with that. The property tax is bad, and the property tax sticks with you. Harder to manipulate the property tax other than buying a smaller house. And at the end of the day, you do have homestead exemptions and stuff like that. But I tell you, man, seeing what happened in Arizona, that's bad. Arizona used to be a very libertarian state. And it's not anymore. It's not because of California people moving in. It's because of freaking people from the north, man. I'm telling you. The snowbirds moving in. I'm telling you. A lot of these guys, they get big pensions from Michigan, Wisconsin, and Illinois. And they move down to Arizona. And I'm just telling you right now. And I know some of you guys are like that. And a lot of them are not left-wingers necessarily. At least I'm watching this channel. But there are many that are. I tell you, I know some. They relocate down there. They take their politics with them. They don't. It's weird. They voted left in Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, moved down to Arizona, and they continue to vote left, yet they move down there for a cheaper cost of living. Crazy, but they still have their Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan pension. That's what's dooming Arizona. It's not the California people moving in, but you got to find a no property tax or no income tax state: Nevada, Wyoming, South Dakota, Alaska, Washington State, Tennessee, Florida, New Hampshire. I guess that's it. There's 7 of them, or 8. And Texas, there you go. All right, we'll see you.